All right, well, it's 9 o'clock, so we're going to call this regular meeting of the Commissioners Court to order on the 11th day of March, 2024 at 9 a.m. And so we'll rise for the pledge and prayer. Jimmy, you like to do the prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just come to you thanking you, Lord, for all you do for us. Lord, I just want to lift up the court to you this morning, ask you just to give us the wisdom that we need to do what's needed for our county and our city, and I just ask that you just go with us now and help us in all that we do in that situation. Lord, we just ask you just to be with the first responders and our military people. Just watch over, take care of them, bring them home safely, Lord. Lord, just go with us now and forgive us where we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 1, public comments or requests for information on non-agenda items in accordance with Section 551.042 of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Can't hear me? Some say yes, some say no. Okay. Some don't want to hear me. Thank you, Ms. Chisholm, for being here. Maybe that's a little better there. So any comments? Open comments?
I do.
Y'all like to stand up? I think you'll have to turn, you might want to pull it down a little bit there.
Turned on, you just have to pull it
There you go.
and speak into, or you can even take it off if it doesn't fit you.
Yeah, I'm a little short for that.
Just, there you go.
So, my name is Angelique Matthews, and I live on the Hughes property off of Highway 49 with
Okay.
my family.
You're going to have to hold it.
Right
There you
here?
go.
Okay. My name's Angelique Matthews. I live on the Hughes property off of Highway 49 with my family and my grandfather, Ricky Hughes, who's been on that property for 60 years. I've been aware of the issues that Titus County has been having with our property in particular, specifically from my neighbor. So Deputy Bain has been a regular visitor to our property, and he's made sure that we're in compliance with the Texas law, specifically this one, Code 343 for sanitation, environmental quality for abatement of public nuisances. And I do have copies here.
That'd be
Anybody
great.
wants one?
Yeah, I'd like one too.
Okay.
Just hold on to it. Thank you, ma'am.
That's the first 3 pages. 'Cause that's what applies to my property. Don't want one?
Thank you for your service. Thank you.
So I've highlighted the portions that seem to have been in question in reference to our property, including the neighborhood. We're not a platted subdivision. We're on a premises of privately owned property and the public street, and how that, affects the issues that the county and my neighbors seem to have with our property. So we built a privacy fence around the offending area of our shop where my husband, Wesley Matthews, and his friends enjoy their hobby, gathering, working on drag race vehicles and engines. And we've moved all of our alleged nuisance vehicles 300 feet off of both Highway 49 and County Road 4660. Though they are visible, they are within the limits written in the code. Excuse me. The other vehicles, the 6 that were mentioned in the last meeting, those are registered and in use by adults on the property, and they're not able to be considered nuisance. According to this 3rd page here, that highlighted portion where it says, abandoned vehicles, they're not considered abandoned, they are registered and in use. So I've also been in contact with the Titus County Sheriff's Office, and they have agreed that the numerous complaints by one individual are considered excessive. I did request all the records for my address from the sheriff's office, and they do not show the multiple times that Deputy Bain has been out to my home. So I'm not sure if my neighbor has a cell phone number or, what's going on there, but it does seem to be personal at that point. And so I'm here today just if y'all have any questions, so we can go ahead and put this behind us. It's been a year next month.
The only thing, I can't make anything, because if something does come, it goes to the JPs, and then it would come up to me eventually there. The only thing that I see there, you did say it is visible, so that's going to be an area that Mr. Bain and them will have to work on.
So on the third page, it says it cannot be visible unless it is 300 feet off the road. It's been measured several times. It's 300 feet off of both Highway 49 and County Road 4660. It's in compliance with this law.
If you're in compliance, we have no problem with the court here. If you're in compliance, you're in compliance. So I understand,
that was a question
what
from
you're
the last
saying,
one.
but just because he says that, if Mr. Bain says you're in compliance, then you're in compliance.
Okay. Is there anything else that my family needs to do to be able to put this behind us?
Once again, that would be with Mr. Bain. It wouldn't be with us, other than the nuisance laws.
But I did bring it up with Deputy Bain, and the next meeting, there still seems to be some sort of question. I just wanted to...
Not questions from us. So,
Okay.
that I have. I don't have a question. You got a question, Dan?
Is that a private, is that y'all's only, or is that a private?
Yes, it's a
Really?
private property. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand that, but are y'all selling parts off of that, or?
No, sir, those are privately owned vehicles. My husband, he enjoys fixing vehicles, making, pulling parts off of old ones to make drag race vehicles. It's all private, nothing, no business.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for your service.
Any other comments? Mr. Applewhite?
I'd just like to make a note that on the February 26th meeting, line item 8 on the agenda said considerably and possibly approve designating the county treasurer and county auditor as joint co-investment officers per the Public Fund Investment Act. I had asked that y'all table that, and Mitchell made the motion and Parker seconded that. That should have been a no action. Our policy states that already, and I just needed to make sure that that was in the records. That's why it's not on the agenda again this time, is because it was a no action item. Our policy does state that. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, move on to number 3. Consider and possibly approve the contract between Fire Solutions and Titus County, and this is for our consultant.
Don't we need
Number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, number 2.
Yeah.
Consider and possibly approve the minutes from the February 26, 2024 special meeting of the Commissioners Court.
Make that motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Parker. All those in favor?
We skipped number 2. And
We're on number 2 now. We went back to 2.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
We're on the minutes now. We've got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite and a second made by Commissioner Parker to approve the meetings from the special meeting on the Commissioners Court on February the 26th. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 3, consider and possibly approve the contract between Fire Chief Solutions and Titus County. We've got 2 people that would like to speak, Mr. Robin Willison and Ms. Clark. Robin, if you'd like to go first.
Good morning.
Morning.
There we go. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Robin Willitson Lancian. I went to Harts Bluff and graduated from Mount Pleasant High School in 1985. To clear up any question as to why I have any interest in or if I have any investment in Titus County's issues, I am beneficiary to approximately 6 acres in Titus County on County Road 1612, which has been held in our family since my grandparents settled in Titus County in 1932, over 90 years ago. Additionally, I hold the durable power of attorney for my mother, Mildred Willitson, who is the grantor of the property mentioned and is a registered voter in Titus County. All mentioned deeds and documents are on file with the county clerk, as well as Mildred being with us in court, so I am speaking with her blessings. All references and documentation to what I have to say is available upon request. Given that Judge Cooper and the Commissioners Court decided to reopen the subject of the fire department after ex-Judge Lee and the Commissioners Court at the time had already settled it, residents of the county are now in a precarious position beginning October 1st, 2024. After reading the agenda posted for today's court, I would like to address 2 items. Number 1, item number 3 on the agenda, to consider and possibly approve the contract between Fire Solutions and Titus County. In doing my due diligence of Mr. Lloyd, I discovered that his company, Fire Chief Solutions, shows as permanently closed at 3726 Parkwood Lane, Denison, Texas. On the request for proposal, Mr. Lloyd listed the address 202 Two-Lane, Gainesville, Texas, which is a residential area. Does the company not have a brick-and-mortar office front and is being run from his home instead? The name Fire Chief Solutions shows no designation as to its entity type anywhere I have seen. When I searched the Secretary of State website, no LLC, PC, LLP, INC, or DBA is listed under the name Fire Chief Solutions as being registered either as a Texas registered company or as a foreign registration, which will be a company registered in another state but registered as doing business in the state of Texas as required. When I searched the United States Copyright Office website, there was no record of any such company, yet on his website, firechiefsolutions.com, he states that it is copyrighted. I received the same result when I searched the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Again, when I searched the Better Bureau Office, no such company is known. Where is Fire Chief Solutions registered, and why can I not find any reviews? I did find his professional presence online through LinkedIn, and while it did state his education and certifications, it was out of date because it says he's still working for the city of Capel. When I looked into his most recent employment, I in fact found out he retired from Capel in 2016 and moved to Denison, which resulted in the City Council being scheduled on Monday, September 20th, 2021, to discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment of duties, discipline, or dismissal of, or to hear a complaint against a public officer or employee during an executive session. In this case, Fire Chief Greg Lloyd was the employee discussed. There is no explanation as to why Lloyd is no longer with the department. A city spokesperson said that there would be no immediate comment. I respectfully ask the judge and our commissioners, do you know why Mr. Lloyd was released? In reading the request for proposal number 2024-03, Mr. Lloyd has the salary rates for fire department employees listed coming into a payroll estimate of $664,837. Just looking at the firefighter base rate of $40,000 per year brings into question the validity of Mr. Lloyd's estimates. Commissioner Applewhite stated at the Hartsbluff School Board meeting that our fire department will be top-notch, not hiring people that are going to be underpaid. I agree with that. Yet, Mr. Lloyd's proposal comes in with estimates that are just that, underpaid. Lloyd's, according to ZipRecruiter, a web-based job site, the base salary for an entry-level firefighter in Texas is $51,032 a year. That is a difference of $88,808, including the employer section of Social Security and Medicare taxes, otherwise known as FICA, for the 7 recommended firefighters. For the 3 recommended firefighters ranked captain, Salary.com rates the average salary as $88,891 per year, as opposed to Mr. Lloyd's recommendation of $47,000. For those 3 personnel, it would be an increase of $48,174, including FICA. I believe it can be drawn just from these 2 firefighter positions that if the county upholds Commissioner Applewhite's statement about providing competitive wages, the budget provided by Mr. Lloyd will fall extremely short just from the cost of manpower and will extend well over the current budget for fire protection once actual upkeep and maintenance costs are included. I'm not discussing the cost of trucks. This is purely labor. That or the county will not pay competitive wages, and the people hired will be questionable. But will questionable people be the best, as Judge Cooper has said they will be? Has Mr. Lloyd given the contingency if his proposal cannot meet its stated goal? Must you still pay his fee for failure to being able to acquire personnel at these prices? Is Mr. Lloyd going to be able to dedicate the time needed to Titus County as he is a full-time employee of the state? My next statement concerns item number 7. Would you prefer I wait?
Go ahead if you like.
Go ahead, okay. Item number 7, to consider and possibly approve the appointment of Jerry Ward as Titus County Emergency Management Coordinator full-time. I do not have personal knowledge of Mr. Ward, other than he is chief of Tri-Lakes Volunteer Fire Department, so I did a web dive on him as well. Mr. Ward has a much smaller internet presence as Mr. Lloyd, and much of it is related to his participation in the Volunteer Fire Department and ownership of Jerry's Smokehouse. His Facebook page shows no information as to his professional education or any certifications. LinkedIn, a commonly used business networking website, also has no record of Mr. Ward. What I have discovered is that since his appointment, the hazard mitigation plan still has not been submitted to the state, while the city of Mount Pleasant, under the direction of Chief McRae, is only awaiting FEMA approval. Note, while employed as the EMC of Titus County, Chief McRae was not responsible as an individual for completing these reports. The county court at the time chose to go under contract with Architects Council of Governments, or ADCOG. Mr. Ward and the court must still be relying on the same contract with ADCOG that was in force when Chief McRae was EMC. According to ADCOG, no specific date of completion is available other than maybe August. Additionally, the county's emergency management plan has several annexes that are potentially out of date. I asked the court, when will those be remediated? I personally was under the impression that Mr. Ward, as the newly appointed EMC, would be able to make the filings himself due to a text conversation with Judge Cooper in which he told me personally, quote, "I hire our own EMC. He handles keeping them up to date." But I was clearly under the wrong impression, which lends to the questions. What experience in these type of filings does Mr. Ward have? In lack of finding Mr. Ward's qualifications, I researched what are the typical qualifications required of an emergency manager coordinator in Texas. One I first found was a bachelor's degree in a related field and a recommended 10 years of experience in emergency management or similar public safety related field with significant experience in management and emergency planning. To confirm this, I looked at current job offers for this position listed with various counties in Texas. They were listed on Indeed, a popular job search website. Looking through the positions, there is a common theme of being desired that the applicant hold a bachelor's degree in emergency management, public administration, or a closely related field, and various certifications such as FEMA's Professional Development Series, the Advanced Professional Series, previously trained in NIMS, and be a certified emergency manager or a CEM. Does Titus County have similar expectations in education and experience? Was this position posted on a public job site when it was open? Why would the court decide to hire someone with considerably less education and certification than the person they released, yet pay them more? What are the contingencies if Mr. Ward is unavailable due to unexpected events, as he is the only EMC? Under the past EMC, there were 3 deputy chiefs and 6 captains to serve as assistant EMCs in case he was unavailable. I have listened to hours of Commissioner Court videos on YouTube, the Harts Bluff School Board meeting posted online. I've read countless documents. I've spoken with Judge Lee, various other involved parties, including Judge Cooper, about the quality of service the new Titus County Fire Department will offer. He assured that it would be the best. For the reasons stated above, I'm not convinced that is true. I, for one, am disappointed in the amount of incorrect and misconstrued information being perpetuated even by our elected officials. People who are placed in their position to do voting of the public's will, not just fulfill personal agendas while telling people in their district not to tell them how they feel they should vote. Last time I checked, that's called the First Amendment and voters' rights, which are typically encouraged in the United States. In closing, I would like to remind the court of Judge Cooper's statements. Quote, "There is no possible way to put a fire department together in 1 year."
You're exactly right on that. But
Right.
that was before I came into office, so it's been 2
You
years.
still made the comment, and that hasn't changed the fact that you can't do it in 1 year. We're looking at less than 7 months. It hasn't changed.
That's because we've been working on it 2
Additionally,
years.
at the last meeting, you stated government is a slow process, a slow process. The clock is ticking, gentlemen and ladies, and as our court intends to continue with creating a county fire department, are the lives of residents in Titus County not worth negotiating for, at minimum, a gap policy until a county fire department can be properly established instead of having to rush to beat a deadline and hiring questionable and underqualified people? Even using 2021 statistics that are listed on Google, a population of 31,183 people in Titus County, the 1.3 million contract is only $42 per person per year. That is less than a meal for a family of 4 at David Beard's. But alas, I'm reminded by Commissioner Applewhite's statement at Harts Bluff. After all that has been spent with the city, we have nothing to show for it. Well, some lives and stuff maybe, but no trucks. I'm confident if you ask the families of those people saved, those lives are priceless. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clark.
I'll have questions after y'all discuss this contract. You may answer them in your discussion.
You need to step to the mic, I can't hear you.
On my form I filled out, I said that possible questions after discussion on the contract.
You got questions?
Some of the questions might get answered after y'all discuss this contract on number 3.
If you want to speak, you can speak. You want to ask a question, ask a question. It's your time to ask your questions if you want to ask them.
I understand that. What I'm saying is I'll be able to actually
She wants to know after
discuss.
we just have a discussion, can she come back up to the podium?
I guess so.
I think. Is Greg here today?
No, sir.
Not here today.
We already approved in the Commissioner's Court to hire Greg. This is just approving the contract.
I understand.
The contract is broken down to where his pay is, where the pay will come out.
I just asked.
And if he didn't complete spots, then we would have, it's not paying him the whole amount up front. And that's a copy of this contract that you have in your packet here. Right there, they got it. we've got a copy of this in our file.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve the contract with Greg Lloyd Fire Solutions.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
I vote aye. So motion will carry 3-2.
With no discussion, I do have questions. Is the contract you have in front of you for the amount of $56,000?
That is correct.
So $2.5 million. Does that amount also cover the work he's already done?
Hadn't done any work yet because the contract hasn't been completed.
I'm sorry?
The work is not done yet. He hasn't been paid for anything yet.
But that amount covers the work he's already done before the contract gets signed.
There has not been any work done. Any work that he done might have been preparing for this contract, but there's not been anything paid.
Okay, we'll disagree on that because we do know that he's been in contact with people. When will the contract be signed and be public record?
Today, because we just approved it.
The proposal he submitted said we'll work with commissioners on an acceptable budget, and then apparatus will be acquired. When will we expect that budget?
As soon as we get the budget.
I'm sorry?
We don't have it yet.
I know, but he said we'll work with you to get the budget. When can we expect that?
That'll be a question for him. We'll have it before October. Before October.
I would expect the operating budget before October, but what about the budget for everything that's going to happen before that?
We hadn't been able to talk to him because the fire chief has called Tatum and tried to get him not to be able to sign this contract. So until we can start talking to him after this contract, that'll be able to answer our fire questions.
Okay. It gives him 30 days, I think, to have a plan. So it's the 11th. You can expect that. Okay, covers, thank you.
Thank you. Number four, presentation by Jerry Ward on the county's plan for total solar eclipse, Titus County Emergency Management Coordinator.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, ladies. My name is Jerry Warren, Titus County Emergency Management. I'm also the Fire Chief of Tri-Lakes Fire Department, 18 years of service. I'm here today to talk about the Eclipse coming up. No one knows exactly what is going to happen. All we can do is be ready for what they're saying could happen. On April 8th, the solar eclipse between 1:43 and 1:45 should last about 4 minutes. We can expect large crowds, traffic delays, shortages on food, water, and fuel. There'll be a lot of people coming into Titus County. We'll also be coming down to the square in town, shopping, and then heading home after the event, which Monica will speak on that here in a minute. According to the Weather Service, the temperatures could drop anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees within a minute or so, depending on the humidity outside. It's too far out to really predict the weather for April 8th. Right now, they're showing sunny and 67 for the high. So we'll just have to wait and see as we get closer to it. I have talked with the Sheriff's Office, DPS, and Lake Patrol. They will have extra people on staff. DPS, all DPS officers will be on duty that day. EMS is going to have an extra ambulance on staff, which will give them 4 on duty. The electric and water companies will be prepared to work if they needed. State park and hotels booked, full. Can't put no more in it or turn them away. Fort Sherman Park on FM 3417 stated they will be closed from April 1st to April 8th. They will open on April 8th for fishing only. There will not be no camping in that area. We think the biggest problem we're going to have is going to be the traffic and a lot of people coming into town and heading home. The county has provided 4 skids of water, which would be divided up between the VFDs and the county if needed for some reason. As far as emergency management, we will be meeting with the VFDs this week and next week to see about how many people they think might be available on that day to help out with traffic and EMS calls in the county. Communications. Communications of any kind of vehicle wrecks, fires, and etc. will be handled through the Mount Pleasant Fire Repeater. An email was sent to Mount Pleasant's Chief McRae and the city manager, Mr. Thatcher, asking if the county could use the Titus County Fire Repeater on the day before that Monday and the Tuesday if needed, so we would stay off of the Mount Pleasant Fire Repeater, keeping tying up the city. His statement back to me was no. So the temporary EOC that we've set up at Tri-Lakes, which Mr. McRae commented on Facebook that their county did not have one, period, which was wrong because we do have one. It's not as large, as fancy as there it is, but it would do. This EOC is no good no more. Since we cannot use the Titus County Fire Repeater to switch over to it, he has cut anything off as far as emergency management. We can't use no repeaters. The active 911 we send out for the firefighters to respond to pages. Anything that has to do with weather or EMC, we cannot use it. Even though the VFDs pay for that service. We write a check to Mount Pleasant Fire every single year. He has cut us off of that. So as of right now, we're just going to do the best we can with it. And on the back is a copy of the email, if y'all want to look at it, that was sent to Mr. McRae.
That's the money you're talking about from the volunteer fire departments, that goes on top of the $108,333.33 that the county pays the city each month. Right. That they don't want us contacting through those. And they switched that radio station in the last 6-7 months. So I also talked with Sheriff Ingram, and newly elected sheriff is here now, and he spoke with them. They're going to have extra officers on duty that day from 10 until 3. Is that correct, Tim? I think he said 10 to 3. I can't remember. But they'll have extra officers for us to help us there on that.
Anything?
We appreciate that. A couple of the ladies are here.
Thank you.
With the
Jerry.
Are you okay?
Jerry.
Do you have questions for him? Okay. Okay, I'm going to speak just a moment because I do help Jerry as the admin for the emergency management coordinator. So this is, as he mentioned, something that's going to happen regardless of whether we want it to or not. We didn't ask for this to happen, but we've found it, come into our laps here. So I had a discussion with Kelly Redfern. She came by the office on an unrelated matter, and so she was sitting there and she asked me the question. She was reading her Facebook, actually, and it was comments that were happening from the city and the way that they were responding. And it is true that we are fully occupied. The occupancy is at 100% in all the parks and the trailer. So, and then we also have it's gonna, this whole thing it's gonna happen. And so she was kind of shocked because the city's response was just don't come. And we can't really have that. And she also mentioned the fact that she had not been contacted by anybody from the city regarding anything about the eclipse. So we kind of she found herself in kind of a position because she's on the Downtown Merchants Committee, and so that becomes an issue for them, because whether we expect 5,000 people, 15, or 50, we've heard it all across the spectrum, so we don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that they are coming. So, you can either accept that and embrace it, or you can ignore it and just be behind the eight ball. It's just being proactive versus reactive. So in that discussion, she asked me if she called a meeting with the downtown merchants, if I would be willing to come and speak and tell her kind of some of the facts that I had told her. And I said, absolutely, and I'll bring Jerry because he knows all the technical. He's the one that, he's the one that made the plan. And the plan, let me be clear, the plan that he has is for the county. And you know that Mount Pleasant is its own entity, and we do not have jurisdiction over that, so we don't include them in our plan. They don't include us in their plan. So in that discussion, these merchants have just absolutely taken the ball and have run with it, and they have actually in the last 4 or 5 days have completely planned what they're going to do for the weekend. And so I just asked them if they would be willing to get money from the city for porta potties. I would ask the judge if he would allow them to put the porta potties on, 8 of them, on our grounds here, and have risers and we contacted Steve Russell, and he said we're welcome to do whatever we need to do with that, but they were able to do that. So, and I think some of the ladies are here. I don't know if anybody would like to come and speak about what their plans are, because they have really absolutely knocked it out of the park.
She can't get there.
Hi, is that good?
Perfect.
Yes.
I'm Kelly Redfern. I own Mills Flowers across the street, and obviously I had been in Valentine's World, being at the flower shop, and as I was visiting with Monica and I'm reading what is on Facebook, I basically caught 15 to 50,000 people could possibly be coming to our community. We have experienced Cinco de Mayo years ago where I think it got between 5,000 and 6,000 people, and it was standing room only. They moved it to the fairgrounds because it got so big. So Judge Cooper walked in while I was speaking with Monica, and I said, well, that's a lot of people. What do we do if this? I hadn't heard from the city, hadn't heard from Main Street, hadn't heard from anybody. What do we do? And Judge Cooper said 3 things that we're concerned with: food, bathrooms, water. I thought it was gasoline.
And gasoline.
And gasoline. So I, at that point, went and threw some things out to them. I said, well, I'm understanding they are coming. It's not don't come if they've already got hotel rooms here. And then I started thinking, well, what's 15 miles away, which is the total solar? Well, you're looking at, I was like, which direction? Is it Pagoda? Is it Rivercrest? Is it Omaha? Is it Winfield? I mean, there's no hotels in any of those communities except one in Pittsburgh and one in Mount Vernon. That is why they're staying here. And if I was going to travel 17 hours or across the world, I certainly would look on a map to go, what's downtown? And that's probably where I would go and hang out and check out before I go to lakes. That being said, at that point, Kelly Cooper was also noticing this. Kelly Cooper has more of a, what's the word now, influence on Facebook than I would have. And so Kelly Cooper started at that point bringing up the subject that no one had, that there were no activities downtown. So with Kelly created a group of women that were separate from the downtown merchants, and it was called the Great Escape Task Force. I, on the other hand, was running down the street trying to get some of the merchants to go, from what I'm understanding, our internet, our cell phones are not going to be working possibly well, because they are not built to handle this many people. So those of us that have stores might not be able to process our credit cards. We might not be able to do the input, to input our orders. Most of the merchants use Square. I use something completely different. But I thought, and a lot of them are younger, and I'm like, we're going to have to go back to the 80s, and we're going to have to figure out how to process this by hand, on paper, and be able to get through with it and not rely on internet. So as their eyes were opened, we then met on Wednesday night. Monica and Mr. Ward came, and I was so thankful to have them there because, again, they had been studying this since August. Since that point in time, Kelly Cooper and the Great Eclipse Task Force, which has just blown me away, because within 48 hours, I would say this is what's going to happen or what we're going to provide. And correct me, on, where are we? This side?
East side.
East side, they're going to allow food trucks. On the bell tower, they're going to allow food trucks there. I think on Thursday morning there was a Main Street meeting, and 3 of the women who are merchants and are part of the task force went to the Main Street and started talking about bathrooms. Because obviously with that many people, we don't want them coming into our establishments. The city has one public restroom, which is behind where McCall McGuire's children's shop is, and it's locked most of the time, which then leaves the county courthouse bathrooms. So we had to think, where are they going to go? The city stepped up, thank you, that Ricky Harris told them that he would provide the porta potties. So I think with Monica taking the lead to order them, is that correct?
Actually, Amy Hinton.
Amy
Because
Hinton
she was
did.
at that meeting, and they did
Yes.
confirm the...
So I think there's going to be there's going to be 8 on the squares that should be able to help. As far as trash pickup, in the past, the city has been very, they pick up the trash, but we're not doing anything on our street. It's county. So we have one young lady that is involved with the Boy Scouts, and the Boy Scouts need to earn their points, and they are going to pick up trash. That is amazing. What they have now, which has all been happening like quickly, they have car shows coming. A car show. I have no idea where that's going to be. But there is a car show that is coming. Manna House is opening up for vendors to rent if they want to put antiques and music. And then as of this weekend, they got approval from Caldwell Park to get live music at Caldwell Park, I think, on Saturday. They have created a QR code. I did not. They are just amazing that this has happened within 48 hours. Again, my concern was for the merchants that we were able to make sure we had plenty of cash on hand, that we had plenty of staffing. We had to make that decision if we were going to be open on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because obviously we would like to take advantage of this many people coming. So I think the merchants are good, but my question to you, and I know that this is obviously, I hope, broadcast and many people see it, is so I've taken care of the downtown merchants, but there's retail stores all over this town and restaurants, and I'm hoping that they have been brought apprised to this, that they are prepared, because, again, running out of food, running out of water, potties. So, thank you. And I want to say also, is it South Which church? Northridge Church across. They've opened up their spot next to their church where they've got tents.
We're going to have parking spaces available where people can park there, and we're going to serve meals and be open to the community. And we're asking for donations for our mission trip that we're having this summer, but it's not a requirement to give to be able to use our parking lot, our front yard.
Nikki, have I left anything out?
I don't think so. The only other thing was, I think our old original First Baptist Church back on that parking lot, they've allowed to open up that parking lot for more food trucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will feed the people, and hopefully they'll be taken care of. Thank you so much for everything y'all have done, and thank you for Mr. Ward and Monica and Judge Cooper, because it was kind of a, I mean, that's a lot of people.
Thank you. Anyone else on that? On to number 5, Number 5, consider and possibly change the date of the April 8th Commissioners Court to Friday, April the 5th, 2024. The reason that we've got this here on the agenda to move that is because the Eclipse will be that Monday. We're going to have a whole bunch of people, or we're not going to have any people down here, but if we do change that, we'll just go ahead and move that to the Friday before, so we can go ahead and have Commissioners Court, be plenty of parking. They're going to start setting up food trucks and all that, so we'd have food trucks, stands, and all kinds of stuff down here, so wouldn't be any room. So that's the reason I put that on the agenda, and hopefully we can move that from that Friday, from the Monday to the Friday, the April 5th, the Friday before.
I'll make a motion to move that to Friday.
We've got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to move the Commissioners Court from Monday, April the 8th, till Friday, April the 5th.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 6, considering possibly closing the courthouse and the annexes on April the 8th. Once again, we're going to have food trucks and porta potties and everybody down to look at that. I don't think there'll be any parking. The city is under the impression there's going to be 15 to 20,000 people. We don't know that. We won't know that until that day. So it's going to happen, but we just don't know how big and how much it's going to go. So that's why I put on here that I think we ought to close the courthouse and offices, JP's office, everybody's offices in the county, except, of course, for sheriff's offices, and y'all will be running full open. So
I'll make a motion to close on Monday.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to close on April the 8th.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carried unanimously. Number 7, consider and possibly approve the appointment of Jerry Ward as the Titus County Emergency Management Coordinator as a full-time position. After speaking with John Mark Coburn on that, he agreed with me. Also, Mr. Clark, I'm glad you're here today. The email that you sent to me about having a full-time emergency coordinator, I appreciate that. It was sent to all 5 of us, so that's why I couldn't respond to you, because if I responded to that with all of them on the same email, then it would be considered a walking quorum or something of that nature. But I do appreciate your email about it and thinking that we do need a full-time position. Mr. Ward's done an outstanding job with what he's been doing, and if we move him to full-time, we'll free him up some more time. Also, our EMC will work right along with the fire department. As y'all know, we just signed the contract up above there for Fire Chief Solutions. He'll be getting things together, and he'll need some boots on the ground here in Titus County to help him along with that. So with moving Mr. Ward into that full-time position, that'll free him up. And it's an appointed position by me, just like it was the last time. I would like y'all to all vote on that. You don't have to. If you don't want to vote on it, you don't have to. It's my appointment, but I like to try to keep it transparent and make sure that everybody's on the same page with that. So that's the number 7 on the agenda there.
How much is full-time pay on emergency management coordinator?
That will be in a budget amendment. I've got a couple numbers that I'll get with y'all. Well, anywhere from $21 to $24 an hour.
So that round up about $50,000 a year, you could say.
Well, it could go from 45, if it's 21, that'd be around 45,000, and the 24 would be 50,000.
And why do we need a full-time emergency management coordinator job? Got me asking.
We've got to have somebody to coordinate it. Also, a little later down here in this, we've got our grant writers are here today, and they're going to try to, we get our grant together, we'll have an EOC with our fire department and make it all in one there. So we'll have an EOC to handle that.
Well, no disrespect to Jerry Ward on this, but it seems like we're going backwards on this. We were paying Chief McRae $21,600 a year, now we're going up to about $50,000 a year. So I can't see it.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's an appointment, so we'll do it either way that we want to do it.
Well, I can't understand why we need a full-time, because there's no other county in our ADCOG that has got a full-time except Bowie County, and I could understand Bowie County, but I can't understand why we would be the only one that would need a full-time.
Right now, we just need to get on, we need a full-time to whatever. We got to get it going. We can't just sit back and wait, and this is the opportunity to us to step forward and go forward this year. We've got to start it. Our time's ticking.
Well, this has nothing to do with the fire department, does it?
Yes, it will have something to do with the fire department. He'll be working right along beside with the fire solutions as far as getting things, anything he needs looked at here as well. It will be included in that.
Where's this money going to be pulled from if we don't have a budget set up yet, an operating budget?
It'll be pulled from the $1.3 million that we set aside, which is coming, it's coming from the amended items here just a little bit.
I know, but at some point in time, we need to put in a line item for the start up and operating budget for this, so we know where the money's being spent and easy to keep.
Like I said, down here in the amendments down here, you'll have that money moved over, so you'll have your line item.
I'll make the motion to hire him as full-time.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to hire Mr. Jerry Ward as our full-time Titus County Emergency Management Coordinator.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Once again, it's not a vote, it's an appointment, so yes, I will appoint him as the full-time Emergency Management Coordinator. Number 8, consider...
Questions after y'all discussed it.
Okay.
I just have a question. Will his office be located here at the courthouse so he's accessible to the public? Currently, the EMC Facebook page lists 100 West 1st Street, Suite 200. Will he be here locally, centrally to Titus County so people can ask questions or visit with him?
Absolutely.
Jerry Ward does have the efficiency with all his recommendations, all his accomplishments, and all his knowledge. He's been like fire chief 18 years, you say, and he's got the knowledge. So,
once again, with emergency management coordinator, there's no requirements on that. Some of them across the state uses anywhere from the janitor up to the EMC as that. So, number 8. Consider and possibly take action on approving Lone Star Strategic Group, LLC, as Titus County's government affairs and grant specialist consultant. Ms. Yvette, thank you for coming today.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Excited to be here. I've never been this far northeast in Texas. Driving, I should say. It was a great drive up here from the Corpus Christi region. I thank you all for having me here today. I am here with a proposal to become Titus County's grant specialist, but also project manager. I see on today's agenda you all have quite a few new projects starting up. The one that's pending right now that I came forward to Judge Cooper with is discretionary funds that each congressman is allowed to fund. So each congressman has about 15 projects. They have a few million to give out. And if you don't put in for your community project, it basically goes to your neighboring county. So in speaking to Ms. Robin with your congressman, Moran, these are due this coming Friday. So when I spoke to Judge Cooper, I mentioned this money being available for a community project. And right away, of course, he brought up, the fact that you all were probably going to need a fire department for your volunteer fire department and an EOC where your EMC would be housed full-time. So we are doing something similar. We just submitted a grant application, and it should be in your packet right now with Live Oak County. What they asked for is $6 million in discretionary funds. They are using their property that the county purchased on Frontage Highway as their in-kind match of 25%. And they are going to build a volunteer fire department / EOC with this funding. Now, this is for FY25, so this will be submitted this week. You would know by December if Titus County receives a full amount or partial. And then this money would come in like spring 25, summer, and that's when the project would get going. So it is, a lengthy timeline, but in order to get those funds in, of course, we need to submit now. Further down on the agenda, you'll see a resolution, I believe, attached to that for that project. So that would be the very first project Lone Star Strategy Group would assist the county with. The second one is a cybersecurity grant. As you know, many counties are being hacked right now with ransomware. It's no joke, and it's just what we're facing in today's time. So this cybersecurity grant will help you add an extra layer of protection, so it's more of a mitigation. It's through FEMA. I am trying to work with TAC right now to see if y'all can get a discount on your insurance policy towards something like this, because you are going a step above to ensure that you all are protected. Now, a little bit about me. I know I kind of dove right into this because I was excited about everything previously on the agenda. I've been in business for 6 years. I help rural counties with community and county development and whatever that means, whatever projects. There are larger firms that are grant writing and administrative firms. I work a little differently. My husband is a county judge down south. He's been there on his second term. My father was a county commissioner for 24 years of a very small precinct, rural area. So this is a passion for me. The funds are out there, and I try to go get them. It's kind of my passion to do that. But I would like to be here and serve you in any capacity I can to assist the judge, Robin, each commissioner. The way I work is once I come on board, I will hold a workshop, and that is even a public hearing, and kind of talk to constituents and commissioners and your different departments to see what their needs are, and then we start looking for those grant opportunities. I don't come in and say, I've got this $1 million grant I want to apply for, I want, $100,000 for it. That's the larger firms. I come in with a contract, you have the proposal in your folder, and I go after low-hanging fruit, and anything, even if it doesn't have an admin fee that I bank on later on. That's not my, yes, of course, that would be nice, but I would have to put in an RFP just like anyone else through the procurement process. And it's up to the commissioners if you all want to select my firm or another firm. But my job is solely to write the grant on behalf of the county. Do I have any questions from the commissioners or judge?
On this, if we do go that direction of it, you might explain a little to them. I know Dana's got to speak with you at a couple of commissions, and I have as well.
Yes, sir.
You would be like our full-time. You would not necessarily we need that grant. You'd say, well, we've got this. What do you think about this? And then we'd come before us and look at that and see. And the main reason that we started talking to you about this was because of the funds there from Senator Moran that we could get. So with that being said, you're sitting there daily going through these grants and seeing what might apply for us and what might not apply. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And so something that was brought up earlier on the previous consultant y'all approved, I do have a home office, and my team, they do work from home. So to me, it saves me on overhead that I don't have to pass on to my counties. It works very well for us. Obviously, I live about 8 hours away, but it is my goal to try to be here at least quarterly. But anything that is going to be applied for will come before Commissioners Court. I never apply for anything without your permission, your vote, because you need to know what the match is and what I am applying for. I've heard other counties down south where they've had a grant writer on staff that was applying for funding and was kind of, I guess, getting administrative fees, under the table, and no one knew, and it kind of came to light. I would not, I don't want that reputation. I don't even want that thought in your minds that something like that would occur. I know firsthand, having my husband as a judge, the responsibility that you all have to your constituents and the return on investment that I need to provide you to justify a contract like mine. Now, I give you a 30-day out. I don't want anyone to feel like you're locked in. If you feel like, hey, she's not bringing any value, we haven't really seen anything, we kind of want to terminate, good terms, I totally understand, and that's why I give a 30-day out. I am very involved with TAC. I attend just about every conference I can on my own penny, and I attend all the funding workshops, and I'm very proactive on looking for those grants for you all.
Ms. Vet, let me ask you one other question on that. As far as administrating of it, will that go through our auditor, or will that go through partly y'all on a grant, if we do get that?
Good question, Judge. So these smaller grants, I administer them at no extra cost. The ones that don't carry an administrative fee, I do work very closely with your auditor, because we need to kind of get all the financing in place. But I try to do as much as I can to relieve duties from your auditor. So I'm glad that you're asking that question. At the beginning, we would work closely to gather all the information from the county, whether it's, checking routing numbers and, SAMNA, all the good stuff to set everything up for all the portals that we can apply through. And it's just kind of a one-time deal that I have all the information, and I will rely on her for that, but I don't like to burden your offices. I'm trying to take that from them, and to help Monica as well, because I know Monica's kind of wearing every hat as well on this end as well.
A few different hats. You got a question on that?
So in the application process, you're going to fundamentally prepare the grant?
Everything.
And all the guidelines of the grant?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Normally, the auditor's office gets involved when we're receiving the grant, or does the compliance with the grant?
Yes.
So with compliance be where I comply with you, I prepare the compliance, and then you do the regulatory compliance, or is the regulatory compliance that needs to be on?
And it just depends what agency we're working with. If I can take on the brunt of that, I'm going to try to take that off of you. Now, in some cases, I may need you just because of the way the reporting goes. It just depends what agency we're working with and what portal we're working with.
Most of it through e-grants?
Most of it's through eGrants or grants.gov.
So through e-grants, then normally representative of the county is going to have to log in and do some form.
Correct. So the judge would be, on there, his email, and then your email as the financial officer, and then myself as the grant writer. And then depending on who we're applying for, we'd have a different project manager for each grant. So that would be the one that would change. But you're always going to be on there as a financial officer.
I mean, I'm familiar with e-grants.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, ma'am.
I know
Yes.
it kind of sounds like this is all about it's not just about the Commissioners Court and needing the fire money as well. It's going to be spread all across the county, any grants that we need, and y'all may have some questions there through the county clerk's office, through the treasurer's office, anything that those grants are available. That's her job to look for those and keep us informed. You know your needs and you're not your needs, and with these workshops, you can sit down, visit with her, and say, hey, this is where I'm lacking, this is what I need. We're going to be trying to look for some funds for indigent defense as well.
Yes.
So there's a whole lot of different stuff
Indigent
there
defense.
that she can look for.
And,
But you can go ahead now.
and also, I know there's been several questions with this fire department, and I'm brand new, so I'm, completely just new to this whole thing going on today. Unfortunately, Friday, the Assistance for Firefighter Grant did close, and that's federal funding that we can apply for next year. That funding will help you with 3 years for a full-time employee. So if you're staying volunteer, but you have your EMC as your fire chief, that can help fund his salary. And it kind of tapers, they'll give you full and then 80, 70, or something like that, kind of where it's staggering and scaffolding and letting the county take on more. So even grants like this, I will be actively looking. I know you're going to probably need equipment now and all kinds of stuff for this, so I will be working on that as well.
This is for the county, pardon me.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that include dog pound in county, for the city brings them out, okay?
Yes.
It will not be a volunteer fire department.
Okay, is it going to be a fully operational? Okay, great.
So it
That's even better, then we can fund more, yeah, we can fund more positions then.
I was just curious, Johnny, you don't mind?
You can, that'd be better. You're pretty loud.
Would this be available to us as county volunteers? Would you be able to help us write grants for things that Jerry or I or Sherville may need?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to confirm, it would cover everything in.
It covers the whole county,
Entire county.
and that's why,
So basically, you're trying to engage with the county as a grant writer.
Correct.
Not us coming to you saying, we want to go get this grant. and
Well,
we'd like you to-"
now,
So we can do
now, yes, you're, like, I'm sure when,
open, here is this availability.
correct, when you attend your TAC conferences, I'm sure you subscribe to different, different places that they send you information on grants. You just have my email and just forward it. And then I'll start looking into the NOFO and what match and what, if we qualify for that. But I will also, because I subscribe to every agency, I have about 3 congressmen whose offices send me the funding monthly on their newsletter. So I'm very involved in getting that information. But I also would like for you all to send me anything that might come your way in your emails.
I mean, I do think that some counties have full-time grant writers.
They do, they do.
So what I'm saying is, if we instead of
a few full-time.
we're going to engage with a consulting firm to be the grant writer for the county.
Correct.
yes.
That clarifies a little more.
Yes, ma'am.
In perspective of, you're working for us as well as we can contribute to you.
Yes, ma'am.
To formulate the grants. 'Cause there's a lot of
Untapped.
Untapped
Funding,
funds there.
yes, yes.
that people don't realize.
The Infrastructure Bipartisan Act as well, I mentioned that to Judge, there's millions and millions of dollars, and someone's going to go after it. I know sometimes, it's not popular amongst, some parties, but if you can have free money for your constituents, I think you're doing your constituents justice and doing the right thing by going after that.
Like I said, I think it's very important, especially with all the federal funding that they do have now, and I can't stay up on top of it as well as what Speak and Repeat. It's a whole lot to it without bringing in your own full-time deal. I think this is really a good deal for us. Any questions for?
Excuse me, Judge Cooper, could you possibly put your hands down? She's having trouble hearing because your hands are preventing your voice from going to the mic.
Okay, thank you.
I just can't hear you. I don't hear that well. Even though I have hearing aids, I don't hear that well, and when it's muffled, it's even worse.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Any questions? Dana, Jody? Jimmy, any questions?
No, I don't have anything.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring this group.
I got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve this as the Lone Star Strategy Group, LLC, for Titus County's Government Affairs and Grant Specialist Consultant.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously.
Judge, may I add something that I forgot, and I wrote it down, and I do help with disaster recovery. Sadly, the generator grant just closed for the winter storm, but I keep up with TDM and FEMA, so I will be working with your EMC. If anything, God, it doesn't happen.
But it could happen.
But it could.
And y'all-
I would come in with him and help him with that disaster recovery as well, because you've got to meet that threshold to be able to get that funding.
And you had a lot of that with the hurricane and all down in the Corpus
Yes,
area?
yes, in the Corpus area, yes, sir.
Right. No, we appreciate that. And like I said, we've lost out on some. We're trying to get that with ADCOG so that our hazard mitigation is in plan. Our hazard mitigation plan had been out since 2018 when we come in 2023. So we are a couple of months away from getting that finalized and back with them. So we're working on, we got to have a building, an address for that fire station before they can get it all completed up.
Do you all have a grant for the hazard mitigation update?
No, we do not.
Okay. I can see if GLOW has funding right now. I don't know if that has closed.
Right.
But I will check with them, and if we can get on that quickly, we'll apply for that funding. Because you will have to have a firm come in and help your EMC with that.
Right.
So.
ADCOG is helping with that at this time.
Okay, great. Okay,
Right.
awesome. Okay, thank you all so much. I look
you.
forward to working with you.
You bet. Number 9, consider and possibly approve the Lone Star Strategy Group LLC and apply for the FY25 Community Project Grant. Everybody's leaving, I guess. All right. We got that on discretionary funds for the...
Oh, we got it on discussion.
Right. Number 9, consider and possibly approve the Lone Star Strategy Group. This is a certain grant here, the FY25 Community Project Grant, discretionary funds. This would be the EOC and the fire department.
Make a motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carry unanimously. Number 6, consider and possibly approve a resolution in support of the FY25 Community Project Grant application. And Yvette, I believe that is that's the resolution for it. So got a motion to accept the approval of the resolution in support of the FY25 Community Project Grant application by Mr. Applewhite.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? That'll carry unanimously. Number 11, consider and possibly approve the Lone Star Strategy Group, LLC, to apply for the state and local cyber security grant program, and that's the SLCG grant.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried unanimously. Number 12, consider and possibly approve a resolution in support of the state and local cyber security grant program. This is the resolution to that. Got a motion?
Make that motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carry unanimously. Number 13, approve oral and written reports of county officials.
Make a motion to approve them.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman to approve those.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried unanimously. Number 14, consider and possibly accept the treasurer's report as a matter of record.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
We got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman to accept that.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 15, approve the budget amendments. Mrs. Nanette? Either one. Paula's hogging that microphone there.
We have Budget Amendment 2024-11. That is to move $1.3 million out of the contingency for our capital outlay. This is a reclass of the savings on the fire contract to capital outlay, and we also have some adjustments for that SB 22 grant. The county attorney came in and adjusted some of the salaries on his to increase and reduce. It was just a line item transfer for him. He wanted to increase his assistant county attorney, and he went ahead and decreased the VAC coordinator investigator to bring that salary up. Thank you.
Now, what all salaries did he adjust? I'm confused.
He had in the original budget, he had 30 for an assistant county, and he raised it to 35 and reduced the victim assistance coordinator by 5 and the investigator by 4. So he reduced those so that he could increase the other part-time.
Good.
So it was all in that amount that he had, he just reallocated it.
Make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve those budget amendments.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed. Number 16, sign the pay orders and approve the payments.
Make a motion, we pay our bill.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to pay those orders and approve payments.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? All those opposed. Number 17, closing comments. Jeff, you have anything?
None down here.
Jody, you have anything?
Nothing.
I'd just like to thank all the constituents that supported me through this election and everything, and appreciate Steve for running a clean race, and I'm just proud it's over with. And thank everybody for support.
Jim?
The only thing I've got is there any way we can get this information and stuff before court? I mean, a few days before, where we can look over it and kind of
absolutely
study it now?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll get it as soon as we get in the office, we'll put it down there.
Okay.
Friday mornings, because that's when it's posted, so I don't always know everything that's listed on the agenda until I leave on Thursday, so it gets posted at 9, so if y'all want to come at 9, that's great, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
But most of some of the stuff is
Available on Friday mornings after we got the agenda together. So, well, we did get some good rain and all. I want to appreciate Jerry for being here today and all the work you've been doing, getting everything together for us. He didn't mention in there that we did get some water at all our VFDs. We'll have water. All of them have got a case of water going out to them. So if there is a pallet of water, I'm sorry, not a case. That's a little bit more than 15,000. We're going to need a little more than a case of water. But yeah, we got pallets out at all of those, and we'll be able to have water for them as well. So appreciate everybody coming. And with that being said, it's 10:17. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell. Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.